boy, this is going to be a difficult video to make. So first, let me introduce myself. My name is Diana from Diana and the Book Hunt. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. And this is an unplanned video. This is something that I woke up and I decided that I'm going to do this video on the basis of something that I encountered this morning. And I'm going to give you a bit of a prelude, like a backstory as to how I came about, how I decided to make this video. I woke up today feeling not my best really, because I've been dealing with some autoimmunity and I have certain crappy days when I wake up and I have certain symptoms that just leave me feeling not the best. So I was contemplating if I can just stay in bed the whole day and just get this day over with. And while I was lying in bed, I decided that I want to cheer myself up somehow because I was not feeling my best and I just needed some positive kind of encouragement to get me into my day. So I went on to YouTube trying to find a booktuber or a booktube video that is going to make me feel better about myself. This is typically something that I do on my day-to-day basis. Booktube is really kind of a refuge, kind of like a meditation, relaxation place for me. But the thing is, I went on to YouTube and the first video that popped up was a video from a content creator that I don't follow, something new to me. And it's the algorithm that does its job, right? So it knows that I'm an avid romance reader and I'm looking for romance related videos. So it pushes those back to me. And sometimes it's really videos that I'm really not that interested in. But sometimes, just like with this video, it's just the perfect kind of clickbait, right? Because the title of the video got to me. The booktube creator, I don't want to kind of use them to make this whole video of mine shed negative light on their video or their content or their specific opinions. But it's just an example of what is going on with certain channels and certain content creators in general when it comes to bookish content. The title of the video, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, is something like, why are romance books so crappy nowadays? And obviously the title for the video is clickbait. I know that probably what is going to get discussed in that video is not really that, but it's just something to catch your eye and to want to click on the video so that you can watch that video. At the same time, I really got curious. I was like, I really want to see what this person is going to say about romance books, why they are so bad nowadays, when my opinion is that that is not the case. At least, obviously, you have books that are maybe not well written or maybe are really trying to get onto the hype and the trends and are kind of put out in a rush. Those are, by the way, points that they're making in their video. So I can definitely relate to what they're saying. But at the same time, I have some thoughts about this topic and I decided that I'm going to make my own video about it. And typically on my channel, I really want to stick to making positive content. I want to make content that will leave people feeling positive in the end once they've watched it. And at least I hope that that is what I'm doing. And I hope that even though some things that I'm going to say here are going to be perceived as negative, the overall outcome of my opinion is actually something positive. And the positive thing that I want people to take away from my video is that we as romance readers need to be protective of our genre, of the genre that we love. And this is something that I've heard Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life say a lot. She's so eloquent when it comes to the specific topic. She explains so well why it is that we need to be protective of this genre and why it is that it's such a beautiful genre. So when it comes to such videos, to some extent, it makes me mad that there is this clickbait kind of culture of trying to get the negative into the world. And I don't know, what does it achieve to say that you find that romance books nowadays are so bad or so crappy or so this or that? And the thing is, one thing that really got to me is that the specific content creator, and it's not only this content creator, I've watched other videos that are kind of focusing on a similar pattern where they're kind of trashing on the romance genre as a general. It's one of two things. They either typically don't read romance books, but then they're still trashing the genre. I mean, like, how can you say, or how can you analyze that the romance book genre is bad when you don't read that genre nowadays? So you haven't picked up any of the books that you're talking about, but at the same time, you have an opinion on them. That kind of, I don't understand that. Or the other thing is, they typically do read romance, they enjoy reading romance, but they haven't really read a lot of romance in the past year, let's say, because they don't like the direction that maybe Book Talk or Booktube or whichever media format that you follow and the kind of books that are being promoted. You don't like those kinds of books, and then you go ahead and trash them even though, again, you have not picked them up. That to me is a little problematic, and that is because essentially the authors that have written those books that are quite popular, I mean, they're popular for a reason, right? They're not popular because people are just talking about them. They're not popular because they're trashy or because just a certain type of audience is picking them up. There's hundreds of thousands and millions of people that are reading those books and are enjoying those books. So that means that there is a very big audience for those kinds of books. So to me, saying that those books are bad because you think they're bad, even though you may not have read them, is just problematic. It just makes a point that is kind of a moot point. So let me try to analyze some of the topics that are being discussed in the regard of romance books being bad in the book sphere, right? All the topics that are circulating in any type of bookish platform. One of them is very obvious, and that is that Book Talk has kind of blown up everywhere and has been promoting the same types of sometimes problematic romance authors, sometimes romance authors that are very hyped but don't deserve the hype, and that the romance books that are circulating are all the same kinds of books. So the thing is, I can appreciate that Book Talk to some extent does that. And I can appreciate that we can critique that. And I can appreciate that it's definitely something that maybe needs to be improved. But that does not mean that those are the only kinds of books that are being read within the community. I mean, when you look at the most popular books, let's say Colleen Hoover or Sarah J. Maas or Ali Hazelwood or Lauren Asher or whoever is promoted on Book Talk, obviously there's going to be some lovers and some haters within the whole conversation. But the fact that there is such a huge amount of love for these books makes it so that people actually want to read more of those kinds of books. So how come there is some person who is there in the book sphere and says, well, those books are trashy and are bad and are horrible and blah, 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 and that people need to get influenced by that person? I mean, I can totally relate to the fact that some people will not like romance books. I kind of think that, to give you an example, it's the same like if you compare it to music. For example, you don't like Taylor Swift, you don't like Harry Styles, you don't like the most popular bands and like Ed Sheeran and One Direction and Jonas Brothers or whoever is like the pop artist of the moment. You don't like those kinds of artists. But then the thing you do is you go into your car and put on the radio to the top 40 chart songs of the moment. Well, you're doing yourself a disservice. Those are the kinds of songs that will pop on because those are the pop songs that are trending at the moment. So why are you tuning into a radio station that will play songs that you don't like? Is it because you want to hate on them? Is it because... I honestly don't know the reason for that. So if you don't like those kinds of songs, you need to find your own radio station that is going to play the songs that you like, right? You're gonna skip that radio station. You're not gonna go onto YouTube or Spotify or whichever kind of service that you use and look up Taylor Swift to go listen to her music only to hate on her music. That's not what you do, right? So why do we do that with books? Why is it that people will specifically get to pick on an author or specifically get to pick on a genre or a subgenre and say, well, this is trashy or this is crappy or this spicy thing is just not it. I don't get that. If you don't like a certain genre, then just go find the genre that you like and promote that. Stick to the positive within what actually tickles your fancy, right? Because what you're doing is you're diminishing the opinions of hundreds of thousands and millions of people who actually do enjoy that genre. So me reading romance, listening to someone saying that my taste is crap, does not really make me feel very validated within, you know, what I'm reading. It's not like your opinion is going to count towards what I'm going to pick up, right? So that's not the thing, that's not the point. But it definitely makes me think, like, why are you doing that? Like, am I going to come on and listen to all of your videos to see what you like and then specifically tell you, well, what you like is really shit, you know, just to make you feel the way that all the people that do enjoy romance are feeling? Well, no, I'm not going to do that. But then just consider what you're doing here, right? It's just not okay to crap on other people's taste and also to crap on other people's work, because those authors, even though you may consider that they're doing it as a cash grab or that they're doing it to achieve something that you don't like them achieving, it's their prerogative to choose their careers and to choose what they want to publish and to choose the audience that they publish for and to make the work that they want to put out into the world. And it's our kind of prerogative as romance readers to want to pick up those books and to look for books that will tickle our fancy. I just do not understand why people are putting out videos like that where they're saying, well, romance books are all bad or all trashy or all crap. And then at the same time, they're putting out content with those clickbait titles that are also money grabs. It's kind of very hypocritical to have all of those drama related channels. There's so many booktube channels and also book talk posts where, you know, all of them are focusing on the drama and spilling the tea and, you know, kind of wanting to have everyone come on to their channel to just spread all of those negative things and negative thoughts and negative opinions of everyone else's, just so that they can get the clicks and the views and the likes. So why are we holding those authors accountable for them wanting to get their money when you're doing just the same? You're doing the same. You want people to click on your video because the thing that you are trying to promote is negativity, and people are inclined to click on topics that have negative correlation, and it's just the same. So I don't think that it's a valid point for people to say, well, I used to read romance and romance was great back in the day, but nowadays I cannot find one single author that will do what I usually like within books. And I'm like, that is just not true. I mean, I can tell you, if I read 100 or 200 or 300 books within the year, obviously I'm not going to have like 70 or 80% of them being 5-star reads. That's just not realistic. And I mean that in any kind of genre, not only romance. If you read 100 thrillers a year, there's going to be at least 50% of them that are going to be 2, 3, or 4-star reads. They're not all going to be 5-star reads. So it's just not realistic to think or to expect that every single romance book that you're going to read is going to be a masterpiece. But that is the joy of reading, is discovering new to you authors or authors that you love, and it's discovering all of their works. I mean, just as an example, I can give you examples of all-time favorite authors of mine where I've read their books and I've also given them 1 or 2 stars, because not everything that they're going to write is going to appeal to me as a reader. They have tried something out, they've gotten an idea, they know that they want to work on that idea, they bring it out into the world, and it's going to be something that some people are going to enjoy and other people are not going to enjoy. And that is the beauty of publishing, of writing, of creating. Some people will love what they read and what they see and what they hear, and other people are not. But that does not give us the right to say that a genre as a whole is bad, right? I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of nuances into this discussion. I definitely think that to some extent the romance community has been influenced a lot by what Book Talk is doing, by nowadays what Threads is doing, by the marketing kind of strategies that certain authors apply, and certain publishing houses are definitely changing up their game when it comes to picking up indie authors and trying to promote them traditionally. There's a lot of things that are changing within the romance community, and I can definitely appreciate that not everyone will appreciate or will enjoy what is going on with certain authors or with certain books that are being published or certain trends that are trending at the moment. That is fine, but those are waves. Everything comes and goes. Things change. Like 5 years ago, angsty books were really it, and alpha heroes were really it. And we had Grumpy Sunshine making its kind of emergence. And then everything changed and it became all about sports romances and hockey romances and football romances and all kinds of romances. And then another wave came, and now romantasy is a thing. I mean, there's just waves of things coming and going within every kind of community, right? It's not only the romance community. Within any kind of genre, you have certain trends coming and going, and that is fine. And it's going to be something that the audience also influences. So the audience has been asking now for more romantasy. They've enjoyed Sarah J. Maas. They've enjoyed Jennifer L. Armentrout. They want to see more of those books. And that's why those authors want to jump on that hype train to see, can I create something that is going to be enjoyed by that many people? And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's also nothing wrong with authors like Carissa Broadbent getting big and getting their money, because they're talented and they deserve the hype. So why is it wrong for them to do that? Is it wrong for them to do that? Well, no, it's their livelihood. They should be able to create whatever they want to create and whatever is popular at the moment, so that they can become big and can attract more audience to themselves. Because let's put it like that, if we have an author who typically does sports romances very well, but now they find out that, for example, another type of subgenre is going to be really big, let's say fantasy romance, romantasy, and they say like, well, I'm gonna try that out. I'm gonna try to see if that is something that I'm going to be able to create. And they write this book, they put it out, it becomes popular, and then people discovered that they enjoyed this author's writing style, and they go to their backlist and they start to read their backlist and they enjoy that as well. What is wrong with that? There is nothing wrong with that. It's only more kind of, it's giving us more than taking anything away from us. So I just feel like for every kind of negative point, any kind of negative argument that romance is bad, I can definitely give you an argument or a point of why romance is good and why we should protect it, why we should uplift it, why we should promote it, why we want more people finding out about it, and how many countless authors have put in amazing hours of work to get us to love those books. I can give you many examples, very many examples. So just in defense of our genre, I understand that it's not everyone's thing, right? Not everyone will love romance. Not everyone will want to pick up romance books, and that is absolutely fine. But if you're not strictly a romance reader, saying that romance books nowadays are bad is just the same as saying Taylor Swift or Harry Styles is bad. Well, that's simply not true. Millions of people will tell you that that is not true because they love those artists. And the same goes for me. If you tell me romance is bad, well, I'll never believe you, because all of those authors, all of these books that I've been reading have been books that have gotten me to smile and to feel amazing inside and to want to gush about them and to want to promote them to friends. So no, That's simply not true. It may be true for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then the title of your video should not be, why are romance books so bad nowadays? It should be, why am I not enjoying romance books at this point? Because it's your thing. You're not enjoying them. Other people are loving them. So it's not the books thing, it's a you thing. And that's not said in any malicious way. It's just that those types of books don't do it for you. There's definitely books for you out there, so please go ahead and look them up. But don't make it sound like all books that are within the romance genre are bad. That's just not true. And you know, the thing is, also, one of the things that really made me think and analyze the whole situation is the fact that I feel like a lot of booktubers nowadays want to get big. They want their channels to grow, and I can completely understand that. I want everyone to make their money. I want everyone to be as successful as they can be. But at the same time, because yesterday was the day that one of my favorite artists released the song, his name is Ren. If you don't know Ren, look him up. He's amazing. He's a genius. The song that he put out is called Money Ties. And money ties, if you say it fast enough, says monetize, right? The whole point of that song is how money corrupts our morals, how money influences the way that we see things, think about things, are influenced, talk about things, and are definitely influencing us to be different than what we are at the core of us. Because the thing is, when we're all young, when we're all children, we're quite innocent. We're not touched by the whole corruption and greed of money and capitalism and everything, right? So most of the feelings and kind of also the output that we have as children is love and kindness and goodness and innocence, right? Those are the kinds of qualities that we have as children. And then as life progresses, we start to lose a little bit of all those things because we get confronted with the reality of things, and those are the things that really are influencing us within life. And it's very difficult to hold on to those core, simplistic, positive things within ourselves, right? And within Money Ties, Ren says a line. Let me just find on my phone the part within the song. I want to read it out to you so that you can understand what I mean when it comes to what I really want people to see within also our community. Within the song, he has a conversation with his little sister, and he is kind of trying to teach her about the world and about what he wants her to grow up as. And he says, "Keep that kind heart kind. Humankind are in need. Never ever let this world make you bitter like me. Because this world needs love, and love it leaks from you, you see." I want to leave a certain kind of legacy in my life. And that is kind of like a positive message for my son, for my family, to see that we are proceeding in this world with kindness. We're treating people with kindness, with respect, with love. And while there may be situations where you need to kind of put on the boxing gloves and go at it, and there are certain situations that require that, talking about books is not the space where we need to be putting gloves on and talking trash about people's livelihoods, about their books, about their babies, because the books are their babies and they're the fruit of their imagination, and it's hard work. We should not be putting on the gloves and punching the readers and telling them how they have bad taste because they're picking up certain kinds of books. And we definitely should not be putting on gloves and trying to kind of break down this beautiful community and this beautiful genre of books, because it gives joy to so many people. And what I want is to leave, again, a legacy with the words that I'm putting out into the world of people listening to me. Obviously, I don't have the platform to say that I'm going to leave a big legacy behind, but even if one person is listening to me right now and is hearing what I'm saying and is a romance lover, your taste is beautiful. You have a beautiful taste in books. And I would love for everyone to feel proud that they have read one book, or 5 books, or 10 books, or 100 books. And they may have enjoyed them, or they may have hated them, but they have invested their time into a work of art, and that work of art has contributed to someone's livelihood and has contributed to someone else's joy and someone else's sorrow. And it's just a collective organism, this, right? This community. We're growing it by reading those books and loving them and talking about them and discussing them. And it's just a beautiful thing, this community. And I just don't see why there are certain people who want to leave a legacy behind that will leave everyone just video after video clicking on things that they hate, things that they don't enjoy, things that they want to bring down, take down, and are just negative. I don't want to be too harsh here. I completely understand that some people will not also enjoy what I'm saying here, and they may perceive it as something negative, and I can completely understand why that would be. But at the same time, the main key point of this video here, of my opinion here, is to say that there is this genre, the romance genre, within the book community, where there's millions of people that love the direction that the romance books are heading in today. They enjoy them, they ask for them, they're anticipating them, they're longing for them. So that means that all those people are validating the fact that romance books are necessary. Romance books should be protected, should be cared for, should be cherished, should be promoted, and should be loved. So I went on a bit of a rant here. It's not my intention, again, to attack anyone. I don't want anyone to feel like I've tried to take something away from them. It's just this video, I clicked on it, I saw the title, I watched it, and I just think that those clickbait types of titles are doing more harm than they're doing something right. Because I can completely understand that they're doing something good for your channel, but they're definitely not helping our community. So for anyone who is watching this, who is a content creator, I don't know, it's just, let's just leave the book space as a more positive place. I mean, there's definitely going to always be channels that are going to focus on the drama and the negativity and everything, and I can completely get that. But people who actually are within the bookish community and are influencing other people should be just more careful with how they bring up certain things and certain topics. I mean, we just need to respect each other's spaces, and that is kind of like, you know, you've invited someone into your space, into your home, and they come in and they try to disrespect you right away. It's just not what we do in real life, right? So why do we do it in the internet space? I just don't understand it. So yeah, I'm stopping right now. I'm stopping because I can go on and on just tackling different kinds of perspectives and topics within this discussion. But I think I've made my point here that we just need to be kind of more respectful when we put out content when it comes to certain genres, or just any kind of genre, obviously, because it's the fruit of labor of different people and it's a lot of work, and we just need to respect that. And while it may not be your cup of tea, it's someone else's. So yeah, that is all I wanted to say today. Please let me know if you've come so far, if you've enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you share my opinion on this topic or whether you have a different one. I definitely would respect that if you leave it down below. And I hope to see you in the next one, where the next one will be planned. I promise it's not going to be a rant like this one. And I hope you have a wonderful, marvelous day. Happy reading. Take care, and bye-bye.